Hello and welcome back to our 13th episode of the Labyrinth of Thieves campaign. We are your hosts and storytellers here from Wanderlustdnd, ready to dive back into tonight's episode. So, last time, our brave adventurers teamed up with Detective Dixon to sneak into the West Repair Yard, a collection of warehouses occupied with workers who were acting rather strangely. You all sought answers to these strange happenings in the warehouse and to find dear old Humphrey, who had gone missing. And Dixon is currently searching for a missing companion of his named Dion. Silently, you all investigated the ground floor, with Revenant, Gizmo, and Dixon heading into the Overseer's office, while Al, Caché, and Fenris looked for Humphrey within the main part of the factory. After searching the office, you discovered that the current owners of the West Repair Yard is none other than the Rose Gold Enterprise, to which, hearing that name, seemed to set Dixon on edge. Back in the main room, Caché, Al, and Fenris found a eerie clockforge graveyard of some sorts, to which Fran scurried off Revenant to search for Humphrey. This is where you found one of his little clockwork arms stashed away in a corner. Fran wasted no time in following Humphrey's scent, leaping up and further into the factory until a dormant clockforge trooper nearly squashed her underfoot. To all of your dismay, you watched as some of the workers that you had just seen previously, just a few hours before, suddenly started dropping from the ceiling, lashing out at you and attacking. During the fight, Caché dove into a well of darkness within herself, her body now writhing and coiling in shadow, while Fenris felt the being within her blade suddenly drive her a little mad. We're in a bit of a sticky situation, lads. So, we fade back into this rather tense moment, and I will get you all onto the map.
Ruh-roh, Reggie.
Oh, indeed.
Indeed.
Oh, motherfucker.
Give it a
The
moment here.
squishy
There's
wizard better beware.
quite a bit of animations going on in this scene here, so it'll probably take y'all a moment to get in.
Well, sick.
Are those animations working for you all?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, I want to do something a little bit differently. And in this tense moment, I want to slow time. Al, you know this very well, don't you? Or don't answer. That's fine.
I didn't hear the question, sorry.
Oh, I said, Al, you know all about slowing time, don't you?
I should hope so.
Okay.
Or at least
So.
something about it.
In these tense few moments, Caché,
Yes.
you've never felt this way before. In that split second that you gave into your darkness, those self-restrained shackles shattered, bleeding into a mixture of delight and power. It has been a long time since you felt in control. And as you place the barrel of your pistol against the forehead of one of these workers and fire, the sheer impact enough to send the body backwards in a wet impact. Your smile curls at the edge of your lips. As you aim another shot, bang, the second worker falls, slumps to the side. This darkness is intoxicating. You're a killer, after all. This was what you were meant to do. Al, as you frantically search for Humphrey, feeling the absence of his constant, gentle humming core, you watch Caché coldly execute one of the workers in front of you, their own blood and oil splatter up onto your face. You see how her body seems to twitch as the shadows slither over her, her hair beginning to float upward as if she's underwater. Revenant. You are delightfully surprised at how light this palm pistol feels in your hand. Delicate, flexible. And while the kickback is pretty strong, it fires very well. You feel Fran cling to you, her tiny body shaking underneath your robes, just from the sheer fear of nearly being squashed by the Clockforge trooper. And you watch as Gizmo lifts up a hand and blasts one of the workers in the face with electricity from kind of a glowing pad on the palm of his hand. Glancing around you, you watch as the shadows seem to gather in from the corners of the room. And you kind of feel a rush through your system. Empowered, fueled. You feel a strange pull towards Caché's side of the room, but it's like two magnets trying to resist each other. There's this pull and push going on between the two of you. And as you glance down at your robes, you notice that your own darkness is starting to fall in plumes from your arms. And Revenant, that mask is feeling awfully restrictive. Gizmo. You unleash the last of the lightning bolts from your hand into the worker that's clawing towards you. You watch as their body seizes violently, the electricity fraying the wires that are intermixed with their own bloodstream. They writhe on the conveyor belt in front of you, but it's very clearly they're already dead. It's just their body that's moving. Then you glance up at Revenant across from you, and just as a light begins to flash in the cockpit of your suit, the sensors are going wild. There is a massive drop in exterior pressure. Exterior pressure. That's what I meant. And the internal voice inside is like, warning, unauthorized movement. You glance to the side and you watch as a toolbox suddenly slides across the floor next to you, followed by just like bits of metal, gears, and copper wire. And then you start to feel your suit being pulled forward along the ground, as if a new gravitational pull is in the room. Fenris. In the final moments of clarity, as your sword cuts into the collarbone of the shrieking worker, their face contorted in both pain and relief of finally being freed of whatever was controlling them. You watch as a mix of blood and oil slither up the length of the blade and be absorbed. You feel a pair of hands grip your shoulders and a gentle voice caress the side of your ear. Burn it to the ground. Fenris, you open your eyes, and you're once more in the hallways of Haymark Asylum. Narrow passages lined with cages. You hear the echoing cries of agony and distress crawl up your spine as 5 figures take shape before you. To the rest of you, there is a very noticeable gravitational shift in this room, and you are all feeling pulled towards Fenris's direction. In these seconds, you watch as her blade ignites in blinding white flames, which surge up her arm and over her shoulders, and they form up the side of her face into 2 massive horns on her head. You see the outline of a dragon's skull come over her features, glistening in astral fire. Fenris unleashes a animalistic screech and bursts into flames. And you all hear a very different voice erupt from Fenris. Grim Kepvok, Morneserin, Ikrisin Rockisa. Does anybody here speak Draconic?
Gizmo. Draconic.
Where is that? Features and traits? No.
It's in
D&D.
Proficiencies in languages.
Down towards the bottom of your sheet.
And I think,
No.
I remember correctly, only
You
Gizmo
do?
can speak it.
I do.
Okay. Interesting that it's you, Gizmo.
Oh, great. I love it when you say it that way.
Fantastic. Okay. Not many other people, even if they spoke Draconic, would actually understand this, because this is such an ancient version of this dialect. But due to your background and having access to very different materials and knowledge in the Feywild, you have heard of this dialect before. And what you hear and what you understand is surrender to the maddening inferno. Betrayers will burn. You are all currently still in initiative order.
So that was a surrender to the maddening inferno. Betrayers will burn.
It was indeed.
Okay. You said we're in initiative order, so.
Yes, you are still in initiative order at the moment.
So it's my turn. I'm highlighted.
So give me... You are, but it is not your turn.
Damn it.
Sorry. So you are in initiative order currently at the moment, but the scene has changed a bit.
Jesus.
Jesus.
God damn it.
My eyes!
It's like literally
That's a
yin
little-
and yang in front of us. What's going on?
Literally right in front of you, yeah.
It's a little bright.
The sun.
So, it is like looking at a star, Gizmo. Fenris, as you just failed your charisma saving throw against your patron, and you feel yourself fall back into those dark memories, plunged into a well of memories. You see faces of the women who shared your ward, familiar but distorted. You hear their wails into the night as the orderlies tended to them. You see a man before you, short, rotund. How could you ever forget him? Dr. Belroy, human physician who had tended to you when you first were brought here, who labeled you difficult and refused to treat you unless you were sedated. I'm picking on you, Gizmo. Gizmo, will you please roll me a d6? 1 through 2 is Al, 2 through 4, or 3 through 4 is Dixon, and 5 through 6 is Caché. 1, Al.
Fuck.
I'm coming for the drinks.
I
Fenris.
don't bring them with me.
Fenris.
Hmm?
Dr. Belroy now stands before you in Al's place. What would you like to do?
You can see her as she looks out, obviously a little crazed, just this smile creep across her face, go straight at you. I owe you a world of pain. And I'm going to shoot forward and attack.
Okay. Going right for Al?
Straight for him.
Okay.
Question.
Real fast. I guess it's all gonna happen in a few seconds. Al, you've looked at many stars before.
Hmm.
You are not blinded at all in this situation. You can see Fenris coming straight for you.
Can I see the smile and like the...
You can see everything. Out of everyone here, you are the only one who can see Fenris in her full blazing glory, as you are very familiar with staring at stars. Fenris, go ahead and take your attacks.
Question before he makes the attacks. Is he in my 15-foot sphere of thing? And have to make a wisdom saving throw to not be scared of me.
So,
Well, it depends on who's rolling.
yes. But unfortunately, as you push this out, feeling maybe this will stop Fenris in this rage, you see a smile curl and the dragonesque features turn towards you, Caché, as she runs and gives you a smile. As dragons are immune to being frightened.
Shit. Hmm.
So you feel it find purchase, but your friend is no longer there at the moment. Fenris, take your attacks at advantage.
Okay. Character sheet would be helpful.
Character sheet would be helpful.
First one's 27.
Al, does a 27 hit?
Oh fuck yes. It does.
I'm so sorry, but I'm not. If only I could say I would like to rage. It's been even better.
Okay. Roll your damage, your sword damage, just straight sword damage.
It's 8 points of slashing damage.
8 points of slashing damage. All right.
Seconds at 24 to hit.
That still hits my armor class of 11. Yes.
Someone needs to beef up the wizard.
Yeah, I'm usually trying to protect you with I thought. Up. Drop one. Great. Thanks. That's 12 points of slashing damage.
It's about a third of his hit points.
That's far more than a third.
Oh god, okay. All right.
Okay. And
Belroy is still standing before you. You carve into him these two slashes, slash, slash, down the front of him. You can see his contorted face looking at you, always looking down on you, like you were lesser.
Okay. I'll just say one. Where are the shock rods now?
What?
We're hearing a different accent in Fenris now.
Excuse me. The what?
The shock rods.
Shock rods.
You recall when we were in the bath, there's a lot of scars from, you think, lighting or electricity? And I don't know if I can with the bonus action, if I can reach out and try and grab his throat.
I will say at this point in time, your bonus action was kind of used to turn into this. So at the moment, that was kind of your bonus action rage, quote unquote.
That's
so at
fine.
the moment, that's you finished. If
Okay.
that's all right. Unless
That's
you
my
want to
turn,
move
yeah.
anywhere else.
No, that's my turn.
Okay.
I have no other immediate targets yet.
Here you go. So, Al, you are staring straight at Fenris, but again, you see that dragon-esque kind of almost helmet around her features. And you can see this astral fire. You have seen astral dragons before. While this is still over your friend, there's a lot of familiarity to what you're seeing from your home. And it is your go. With Gizmo on deck.
My go.
It is your go, Al.
Ooh. Well, I understand wanting to be the center of attention, but this really is excessive. I'm going to bonus action Starlight Step way the fuck away from Star Dragon.
Okay.
I cannot highlight. I
Oh.
can't select myself because.
Sorry,
of the
no, it's
effect.
okay. It's okay. Hang on. Sorry, the star is gonna move for a second. There
Okay.
you go. Go ahead, move.
Thank you. Get way over here.
I'll move you back now, Fenris. There you go. Oh,
Very
God.
good.
Where were you? You were here, I think.
Yeah, that's there.
Yes. Okay, and then I will. I'm going to use a momentary stasis on Fenris.
Very good. All right.
So I'll...
What is?
I really hope this works. So it's a DC 16 Constitution.
Constitution. All right. So Fenris, go ahead and roll a Constitution save.
Okay. Am I rolling or someone else rolling? Oh, okay. I'm rolling.
No, you're rolling. No.
Constitution save. No, that's a 5.
Ooh,
Okay. All right. So momentary stasis, I believe, is like locks up. They can't move.
You are incapacitated until for the end of my next turn, or until you take any damage. So
So I'll
And
let
then
you
get a check.
decide what you say, if you say anything.
I'll say, all right, I've held her down. Now, can someone please tie her up? That sounds terribly dirty. I don't mean it that way. Come on, get your mind out of the gutter.
Pretty sure that's not where their minds went immediately. They just don't want to approach the giant star in the middle of the warehouse.
She looks normal to me. Well, quite bright.
She does,
spark.
actually, yeah. She does look very normal to you. Except she's on fire.
Yes.
Yeah. Alright, so Fenris, what happens to you, what you feel is as your Belroy vanishes in front of you, you no longer see him. And then suddenly you are being forced down onto that table once more. Your arms being locked to your sides. You were completely incapacitated. Just like you were in the asylums. So that is what you are experiencing. Al, is there anything else you'd like to do?
That's my action, bonus action. So nope,
Okay.
that is me.
It comes to Gizmo. Gizmo, just so you're aware, Fenris has burst into flames. She has now then just carved her way through Al. Your senses are going haywire within the suit. You actually can't look directly at Fenris. Your systems are like beep, beep, warning of like temperature influx as Fenris approaches. You do have disadvantage looking at Fenris. However, you are an artificer, so if you want to get creative, it's up to you.
I might have an idea. Well, first of all, I will shout out. You probably realize, but something's taken her over. She shouted something about surrender to maddening inferno. Betrayers will burn. Also, how high up is the ceiling from where Fenris is?
From where? Ooh, okay. So you guys are currently slightly underground. So about halfway. So I'd say 60 feet.
60
It's like
feet.
Yeah, it's like 30 feet of this particular part that you're in is underground, and then 30 feet you can actually see windows. So you're starting to move underground as you go further into this warehouse.
That is perfect. I would like to reach out and you see a device kind of just slip out and skid across under the floor underneath Fenris, and I'm going to cast Levitate on her.
Amazing. Okay, so it's a little shoop underneath Fenris, and you cast Levitate. To walk me through, does that just...
So it is an unwilling creature that succeeds in a Constitution saving throw is unaffected. But I'm hoping that the stasis helps.
It's
Yeah, I can't move.
It's incapacitated,
incapacitated,
so...
I think. I don't know about Constitution. I know for Dexterity and Strength you fail,
Yeah,
but
it's
I
an
don't know
automatic
about...
fail, but I know about con saves.
Let me just check here. I actually don't know off the top of my head, so...
It says the target can only move by pushing or pulling against a fixed object or surface within reach, so...
And she can't move at the moment. Okay, so incapacitated. That's what it says on the momentary
Yep.
stasis, Al. It says an
Mhm.
incapacitated creature can't take actions or reactions.
But I still got my saves. Says here.
But dexterity makes sense because you can't move.
Yeah, but it's a con save.
But it's a con save. So I would say you make the con save would be normally at disadvantage because you're incapacitated. However, you have someone else with you, so it's just a straight roll.
Okay.
So is he getting advantage?
He's getting
Straight.
He's getting straight. It would be disadvantage usually, but because of
Oh.
Silverlight's influence.
So,
Would have gotten an advantage on the
straight.
last one either. The
Hmm?
momentary stasis would have gotten an advantage on that
Not
as
on
well.
that one, no. This one is
Okay.
a little bit different because you are being incapacitated, so the
as a
dragon
bonus
is going.
action, then can I use my fate regulator?
You can indeed.
Okay.
Ooh.
So from within the suit, that device that I've been tinkering away with, like a spherical Rubik's cube, he quickly switches around to a few switches, clicks it in place, and a kind of pulse emanates out, freezing everything for just a second. And it's like when you have the 3D glasses with like red and blue, different variations of what can happen. He quickly chooses in one that's allowing her to get a slight advantage and cancels it out. So now he's at disadvantage.
So it's almost as if you can hear, because you can understand the dragon. And as the levitation starts to take hold, you kind of hear a no. And that's when you reach out and you give disadvantage. So you cancel that
Okay.
out
So at disadvantage.
at disadvantage.
Okay.
Oh, I also have to roll a d4.
You do indeed. It's about to get real chaotic, everybody.
We'll see.
It isn't
God.
already.
4.
Sorry,
Okay,
I have to look up the
at
details
a-
again
I think it's
really
on a
quick.
1 if I roll a 1.
At a
think it
17
is
and
a
a 17 and a 15 for rolls, so that's 18 con.
I think that's probably higher than my spell. 17. Yeah.
I'm gonna use a chronal shift. He has to
Okay.
reroll it.
Has to re-roll it?
Do I
Okay.
reroll
fail.
straight or at disadvantage again?
I
It
roll it.
just says whenever you make it, you have to re-roll it. It doesn't say whether or not you re-roll one dice or however many.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask, is it at disadvantage or it's a straight reroll?
I'm gonna honor the fact that you were Fey, like the Fey magic is still there, so it's gonna be a disadvantage again.
Okay. Yeah, that's a 7.
Okay. So, teamwork. All of you just pulling together. Levitate goes. You stop, cancel out the dragon's like influence, and then Al just comes in again. Just you're knocking her down. You can see the fury of this astral dragon that is around Fenris at the moment, being stopped at every turn. So, Gizmo, where is Fenris going with levitate?
She can levitate. It's up to 20 feet, so she's just levitating 20 feet, and it's above this like little kind of pulsar thing that's kind of sending this gravitation energy that's on little clockwork legs, so it follows around wherever they go.
Amazing. All right, so I'm gonna. Yeah, there you go, Fenris. You moved yourself, so that's perfect.
Yeah, 20 feet up.
20 feet.
So I'm
Yeah.
really shining over everything now.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant. This whole entire place is
Oh,
just
God.
a light. It is about to get real painful for a few people.
No.
Gizmo, is there anything else you would like to do?
I guess I can move.
You still can't quite look at her very well. Like she's really tough to look at.
Okay. Remind me, did Al find anything from Humphrey? Was he still looking before?
I think he was still looking at the
He was still
moment.
looking. Okay, I'm gonna kind of like back up 10 feet and
Mhm.
just start kind of like, as I'm averting my eyes, try and cast my
Kinda
eye around for anything.
Okay.
Well, that'll
All
be
right.
what-
Go ahead. That'll be your turn. Okay. Cool. So you're kind of doing that.
Cool.
Okay. So. It comes to Silverlight's turn,
Oh.
who is currently incapacitated, being stuck in Fenris's form.
And floating.
Floating. So you have completely gotten rid of my legendary action there. She unfortunately cannot do anything except for roar. So all of you just hear a ear-splitting roar coming from Fenris. as her body is just completely covered in this astral fire that is around her. So well done. Silverlight is currently going to wait. However, Caché,
Yeah.
we have to retcon just a small bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because as soon as Fenris bursts into flames, in your own body, being empowered by the shadows around you in this nightmare form that you have embraced yourself into, you watch your friend succumb to those flames. The burst of light hits you first in a wave of agony, and it hurts like nothing you've ever felt before. I need you to make me a Constitution save.
Okay. 16.
Fenris, what's your DC?
Could I use my reaction to flash a genius, give him a +5?
16 is my DC, so
Okay, so 16. Okay, so you would have
would have made it anyway.
Oh,
this
okay.
might not have...
But I used it. I don't think it's like a reaction. It's fine.
Okay. So this is one of those weird times here where okay, so 9 15 halved is what?
7.
7, yeah.
Doubled
14.
is 14. You take 14 points of radiant damage. The reason being it doubled is you are vulnerable to radiant damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Revenant will do you as well. I need you to also make me a Constitution save.
Yep.
Oh, damn, I should have thought about that.
That is a 7.
That's a 7?
Yep.
I have. Come on a second. Let me just see if I can do this for saving throws.
We're bringing all the guns now.
Really is.
Action.
Good. Use all your stuff. It's great. 6, 8.
Where did I even put this? There we go.
It's your inspirations, I think.
Would evasion affect this?
No, it's a
Area
that's a dex.
effect?
That's a dex
An area-
save.
Yeah, it's an area effect. It's also a con save that you had to make. So
Okay, for some reason the thing has changed and I don't have the new version of it. 1 second. Yeah, but so I can't check if I can give it for this.
I believe it's, if I remember correctly, and we can look at this later, but I think in terms of what I think you're trying to do is you're trying to reduce the damage giving him one of your inspiration die, right?
There was that, but can't I get added to a roll as well? And there's 2 options in that. Let me just look it up.
Could be.
Is that just a general bard ability or yours in particular?
That's the new bardic inspiration,
That's the new
the
bard
one
ability.
on.
Let me
the
check my
1D&D
DM
one.
notes. Do
Yeah.
I have that new ability on my notes? I do not. Well, let me ask you this. Just before you start looking, Revenant, you rolled a 7, right?
Yep.
What would be the highest you could roll with your inspiration, Caché?
An 8.
That's not gonna.
That's 15.
Yeah, that's
so-
a 15. It's
It
not gonna
wouldn't
make.
actually.
Yeah, so
I'm not trying to be like metagaming here, but it
yeah, it wouldn't help.
it wouldn't help.
Okay, well, since I don't even know if I can do it, I guess I won't.
Okay, we can look at that here in a little bit. So Revenant, you take 18 points of radiant damage.
That's not too bad. I thought it was going to be more.
That was doubled as well. So
Just nothing but a
I'm
sunburn.
not trying to kill you yet.
Yes.
All of you at this point hear Caché scream as the light hits her. And Revenant, you feel the starlight seeming to start to seep into the crevices of your own robes and kind of sting across your body. And you feel Fran trying to like rush around to try to like fill in the gaps to try to protect you, but it's just not enough. You looking at Fenris feels like your eyes might burn out of your skull. It is extremely painful. So Caché, it is your turn with Revenant on deck.
Okay. So after the scream, you just hear Caché just repeat over and over and over again, "All light must fade. All light must fade," as she puts her hand out in the direction of Fenris and casts darkness on her.
Okay. You can do that.
What must fade? What was the second word?
All light must fade.
All light must fade. You cast darkness. Okay, there's too much animations going on here.
There's a lot happening on this map.
So it's an odd moment as you take this damage. Actually, wait a second. You have to be able to target something, don't you? With your darkness, you can't see her. You can't look at her.
But I can just target the area then, because it's an area of effect. So I can just pick a point in that general area.
But she's floating 20 feet up in the air. She is the only thing that you could really target. So what I will say is if you are willing to take damage to look at her and cast this, if this is really what you want to do, that would be the sacrifice that you need to make.
Would I
So
have to
once
do the same if I was targeting with levitate then, if that's the case?
It would have been a disadvantage for you, but it was a saving throw.
It was a saving throw.
So, yeah. So I'm ruling it because you didn't throw it exactly at her. You threw it more under her feet. But darkness, I think, has to be an actual target. I think you have to cast it on something.
You can pick a spot on the ground with darkness. It's a 15-foot sphere, and if it overlaps the source of light in any way, it does the same.
If it's 15
That's
feet,
the wording on it.
Yeah, so you could.
But she's 20 feet.
It's
up
20
in the
feet
air.
up.
So it'd be 5 feet.
And she is the source of the light. So. But at the moment, Caché, you wouldn't be able to look at her without taking damage.
Yeah. But my problem is how much damage I'm risking here.
You don't know. It's a risk.
You can certainly try.
Well, in my state, I am fight or flight, and the choice is to get rid of the darkness. So, quick look. As all I needed, just as much as I need to target.
Okay. All right. So confirming, you are taking the damage.
I'm taking the damage.
Okay.
Oh.
Miguel, not gonna lie, that's the exact thing I was gonna do on my turn.
Nice.
My exact plan.
One moment, I need a calculator.
What?
Oh, that's not.
That's
fun.
not what
Oh,
I wanted
God.
to hear.
Cool. All right. So, Caché, in this moment, again, just empowered by your darkness, feeling the agony of this radiant damage coming over you, you reach your hand out. You feel you feel it almost as if your eyes are about to burn out of your skull. And yet, for a moment, it's like the shadows careen over your face, and you're able to catch a glimpse. And you reach your hand out, and you cast darkness, and you watch, and you feel the pain dissipate from you. And as you look down at your hand, you see astral fire running up your arm, and it burns all the way across your face, down your chest, and you take 32 points of radiant damage.
Oh, God.
I have 6 HP.
Now, after that.
No.
Oh, you had 6 HP.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I was hoping for like a D8 and she didn't roll very high. Like this is not what I expected.
Things have gone awry.
So
Oh no.
So the darkness
You-
doesn't go off then.
cast darkness. You take the damage. You feel the shadows almost cradle around you. And you fall unconscious. Weirdly enough, though, the darkness remains,
Wow.
seemingly to be fueled by someone else in the room. As
I
Revenant
never
looks
thought
down,
I'd be thankful for him.
and on your turn now, as Caché falls, you feel your own darkness seeping out of you, Revenant, fueling this cloud around Fenris at the moment. It is your
Well,
turn.
Nice one, thanks.
I have this potion of greater healing here that I could have given to somebody, but since they don't like me that much, I think I'll keep it. I can see through that darkness then.
I thought
At
it was the
first,
Shadow
you
Hound that was
couldn't.
doing it.
Now you can.
Um, I know I'm at a loss what to do.
The darkness one was so good. Shit.
I suppose I will run over to Caché and feed her the potion of greater healing.
Okay. You kind
Why you're
of
my favorite.
leap over the conveyor belts, kind of slide down next to Caché, and still the shadows are like coiled around her, and they're slowly kind of like falling, dripping to the sides of her as she lays unconscious. And you again feel that weird magnetic pull as the magnets kind of shift and bring you two closer together instead as the darkness forms around you. This bonus action, are you feeding the potion to her?
Yep.
It's an action to give to the host, and I thought.
Thought it was a bonus.
Isn't
Oh,
it?
it's a bonus action to drink, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an action to
Okay.
give to someone else, I think.
I think
I use my action to feed it to Caché then.
Okay. You can roll the hit die. I think is it a greater, so it's 44.
10 plus 4, 14.
Caché, you come back. Revenant standing over you. And it's odd, though the mask is still there, you can see the darkness seeping out around him, kind of being funneled into that cloud of darkness around Fenris. It's leaking out of all portions of his robes and everything. He is, yeah, it's almost like he's like almost like a ghost. So,
Did it?
I will immediately pull another potion out of my bag and hand it to Caché and say, drink this as well.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Sorry, how much was the healing before again?
14?
14.
Amazing.
Revenant, I'll move you over into the darkness, okay?
And then I think that's pretty much my turn.
Okay. It comes to Dixon, who not only was kicked and knocked prone into a bunch of boxes, then someone burst into fire next to him and then ran away from him. He's slowly kind of like getting up, going, and now it's dark again. So I'm going to say that Dixon is confused and slightly blinded and trying to get his bearings at the moment because he just got kicked around a bit and is looking around, and he sees Revenant and Caché because, again, this darkness is up on Fenris at the moment. So it's up in the air, so he can kind of see the two of you. He cannot see Gizmo. He can see Al, but he kind of looks over to you, Al. You kind of hear, "What's going on?" To you, Al.
Can I respond?
Yeah.
Crazy shit. Just starlight darkness. A whole lot of pain.
Right. I can't see in that darkness. I'm gonna go here, so he's gonna hide here, and he's gonna kind of slump down. And he's got his pistol out, and he's gonna hold an action until he sees something that he should fire at. Okay. Fenris.
I'm still incapacitated.
Currently. However, I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Here's a saving throw. 10
Total?
total. I rolled a 2.
Oh,
Okay. Alright. You... Yeah. No. Just rolled 16. Let me see what checks here. Okay. You are still incapacitated in this darkness, but in this rage-fueled state, with all these shadows moving about you, you kind of, in your own mind's eye, you don't know if you're looking what's in front of you or if you're in your mind at this point. But you reach your hand out and you brush your hand along silver scales that seem to wrap around you as your entire patron comes forth behind your eyes. You see this massive ancient dragon take form and unleash an ear-splitting roar. While you are still incapacitated, you both feel yourselves about to unleash. So that is your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Al comes to you.
Now you can't see me.
Yeah.
Nope.
Now I can't
no,
see.
You cannot.
Okay. You look over to Gizmo and just, any ideas? Can't really see what I'm doing in there.
I feel like we have more pressing matters to deal with.
What did
She's
you
on
say? You
fire.
cut out a bit.
Ugh. Can I try? Oh, wait, no.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I can't heal myself. I can't really do anything without being able to see it.
This is the problem with darkness.
Mm-hmm.
It's like fog cloud. Zila.
I'm going to.
Fog's great.
Fog cloud.
What was that, Revenant?
I'm going to ready. If I could ready another momentary stasis, if I see the moment I see
Nice.
Fenris leave the darkness.
Okay, the moment that Fenris leaves, what are you holding?
Another momentary stasis.
Okay. Okay. So the second you get a visual of Fenris. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Try and like hide behind these boxes a little bit.
Okay. Kind of scoot in.
Yeah.
Hunker down. Okay. You do so.
Okay. So
and
stasis
as-
drops.
Yeah, at the end of your turn, Fenris, you feel as if the straps holding you down are unraveled. You feel movement again.
Floating.
Fuck that! I'm breaking out of those.
Rip them apart, rip them off your arms, and stand up and begin to move your way through Haymark Asylum once more, seeking your targets. The rest of you just see her floating there at the moment. But Gizmo comes to
Only
you.
Revenant sees me so floating there.
We see a ball of darkness.
Yeah, sorry, you see a ball of darkness. Only Revenant. Actually, no, Caché can see it through it as well. So,
Sorry.
yeah.
I helped.
Could I have bonus action drunk a healing potion?
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. Okay, Gizmo.
Okay, so she's 20 feet in the air. The darkness is 15 feet in with radius, so there's 5 feet underneath where I can still see what's going on underneath there. Okay, I'm gonna make my way over there. So you're kind of around
Okay.
here. As I'm going, I would like to, if I can, reach in to get I think it was like the length of cabling that Fenris gave to me.
Okay.
And can I then look at the machinery that's here and see if there's a way that I can connect the cabling to then kind of create like almost a siphon of electrical conduit basically, and then try and have the other end to try and throw and siphon off this excess energy that she's given off.
Ooh, I love the ingenuity. Whatever.
Ingenuity.
Thank you. That thing, I love it. Okay, so roll me a. Okay, so you're taking the cabling. I would say make me an Arcana.
Okay.
Yeah, make me an Arcana check. Yeah.
Don't fail me now, D20.
Be a good high stat for you. Oh shit.
12. Although, can I hold on a second? Can I flash of genius
hold on.
myself?
Yes, I think you can.
Shit. Where is it? I keep losing my thing. Reaction. When you are a creature. So yeah, I'm gonna flash of genius myself. So I'm gonna give myself +5. So that would be 17.
Perfect. The DC wasn't too high because you've dealt with these kinds of things before,
Take no
but
chances.
that definitely brought you to the point where you could succeed. So easily done. Not only you army crawling kind of like below this darkness because you're in your much more like agile form. You were able to like hotwire this kind of cabling and have it. Now you have it, and you've successfully have it in the way that it could potentially siphon off some of this energy. However, you still can't see up into the darkness. So, what would you like to do?
I'm just gonna shout out to everyone else. I think I might have a way of siphoning off this excess energy that she's given off, this heat. I need to be able to see her though. That'll be my turn. I'll have that just ready to try and connect to her. She's
I'll
still
say there's
floating
kind
in
of-
the air, still touching the
She is. So there's a cool thing here, actually. This little part here is actually kind of a generator, and then it goes into these pots where it has lots of electrical kind of energy going through it. So I'd say you almost connect it to this so that it can, so that's kind of what you've connected it to, so it has a place to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because you've got plenty of things to work around you, so that's perfect. So all of you hear Gizmo shout this. Caché, you're still on the ground. Revenant, you're still close to her. You can see Gizmo army crawling underneath the darkness. Yeah. Okay. Anything else you'd like to do?
I think that is me done. Thank you.
Okay.
I end my turn.
It comes to Silverlight, who... Where are my targets? Because Fenris can see through magical darkness.
Yeah.
There's Al over there. How far is your Eldritch Blast again? 120 feet?
120 feet, yeah.
Cool. So we're gonna just roll to see who... Oh. That seems fitting. That seems fitting. Yeah, okay. So, Fenris, as you're floating up in the air, you kind of feel yourself twist a little bit, your neck kind of craning downwards, and you're looking down at Grosk. You see him standing there. Takes form through the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
You get flashes of him dragging you down below the asylum. You're dizzy with rage at this point. You killed him once before. What's killing him again? Right? I need you to take 2 shots at Revenant.
Okay, straight rolls.
Nope, you're still at advantage at this point. Yep, you're still...
Okay. Natural 20.
Uh-oh. Good, I target Revenant. Okay.
No, that's my D10 gun.
Uncanny dodge on this one, anyway.
Okay. So that's 25 points of force damage.
Also take 6 points off that damage. Using my reaction.
So half then to 12 to down to 6.
Wait, what?
If it's 25 total, then you did uncanny dodge.
Oh,
is
yeah,
half.
you're right, the 12. And
It's
then
half down to 12, and then 6 off down to
minus
6.
Down to 6, so 6 points of force damage, Revenant.
Not bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well done.
That worked out very well.
Yeah. All right, second attack.
Damn it. It's always a second attack.
Second blast.
Fenris has 2 blasts, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
For another. That's Eldritch Blast. There. So that's 27 to hit.
Yeah, just about.
Just hits. Just hits.
Just nicks.
Okay.
Just about.
We're going. Ooh, it's not too bad at all. So that's a 14 points of force damage.
Yep.
And as you kind of get clocked with this blast through the darkness, Revenant, if you glance up towards Fenris, you see again just that kind of raging astral dragon form that seems to be kind of over her features, and you just see and hear demon. And that is Silverlight's turn. It comes to Caché.
Alrighty. So upon hearing Gizmo's request, Caché was like, "No, can't allow the light, can't allow the light." And she'll cast slow on Fenris.
Okay.
Stasis.
You can
slow,
see-
levitate.
I know. She's just like slowly floating and like shooting Eldritch Blast.
So that
You're
is
almost
a
trying to
wisdom
make-
16.
A really badass fight. It's just.
The Eldritch
Hey.
Blast, like solar
No,
flares.
but thanks for giving me elevation so I can see everyone.
That is true.
She can't use a sword though.
No,
More
she
with
can't.
Sword.
Eldritch Blast does more damage.
Does. Yeah. Sorry, Caché. What? Yes, you just gave
That's
her
a wisdom 16.
Wisdom 16. All right, so Fenris roll a wisdom 16.
Okay. Straight roll.
Straight roll.
Okay,
You
wisdom.
get her in body, not in mind. Her mind is her own.
Well, that's a dirty 20.
Succeed?
Dirty 20, yeah, succeed.
Yep. Okay. So slow does not have an effect.
God damn it. In that case, I am going to quickly calculate what would give me the most amount of shadow if the light was to suddenly turn back on in its current position, and find a place to hide where shadow would be cast.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
So that yields a 7.
I do believe you have advantage in your 4th level of stress.
Oh, I do.
I think you have
Thank
advantage on perception, but you have disadvantage on a
That's
few other things.
so much better. That's 19.
19. Okay. In your frenzied state of trying to look for a safe place, there isn't a lot of places to hide from a star that's up in the air. However, you feel like maybe possibly like underneath one of the conveyor belts might give you a bit more cover if the light suddenly came back.
Yeah.
But it would be hard to see. You wouldn't be able to see Fenris.
At the moment, I don't really mind, because the last time I saw Fenris, I
Your
died.
eyes nearly burned out of your
Yeah,
skull.
yeah, so-
And I'd say too, with Revenant being close enough, you like while Caché doesn't have a lot of features to really like see, there seems to be like white cracks on her skin around her eyes, like kind of almost like it's been burned into her skin. So yeah, if you're wanting to kind of like duck in underneath, do apologize, I have to move the darkness for a second. Are you gonna kind of duck in under here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. There's still a person here bleeding out, by the way. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, I don't have any action to shoot him, so.
Cool. Glad to know that nothing's changed. Perfect. Anything else?
That's my turn.
Okay. All right. Revenant.
How high are all the machines just around us?
Depends on, like, right around you, or...
Yeah.
So, this kind of big portion here actually goes almost about 15 feet up into the air, because it kind of looks like it's a... It's hard to explain, but it's like this, it's not an exhaust pipe, but it kind of looks like that almost.
Right.
And the conveyor belts are they probably go up to your waist. They're not that high.
Okay. Right, I will climb up the exhaust pipe,
Okay.
and then I am going to jump and try and land on Fenris,
Okay.
and I am going to try and pull her sword out of her hand.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Big moves.
Okay, so you're gonna climb up the exhaust pipe, jump over to her, and try to take the sword out of her hand while she levitates.
Yep.
How heavy? How much can levitate handle, Gizmo? Is it just that person?
More important question: how are you grabbing the sword? I've got the hilts.
The
I've
spectral
got my
limited
gecko
target
gloves.
weighs up to 500 pounds.
500 pounds. Okay.
So 2 of them should be fine.
All right. So this is getting creative, and I like this. I need an acrobatics check first, Revenant.
I'm good at them.
Mhm.
That is a 15 plus 8 is 22.
Okay.
23.
23. Easily done. You scurry up the side. You actually find like kind of like pieces that are jutting out that where other like workers would climb to like clean the devices. So you are able to just easily kind of get a good handle all the way up to the top, and you're almost kind of a little bit below Fenris. But
I have my gecko gloves.
oh, that's right. You've gecko. Never mind. Then I shouldn't even had you roll that. Then you're fine. I completely forgot about the gecko glove. Sorry. So yeah, you activate those and you just suction cup to the side and you just climb up. No problem. Disregard that athletics roll. So you get up and you're a little bit lower than Fenris. So unfortunately, I will have to have another acrobatics check there because it was going to be 2 anyway.
Can I use that one?
I'd say roll another one because this is a jump, unfortunately. So
Yeah, that one worked out better. That was a 17 plus 8.
there you go.
So 25.
So you're able to angle yourself in a perfect place where you can launch yourself up and you grab onto Fenris. And as you do,
There's a lot of rolls going on. I don't like it.
calm down, guys. I just can't find my D10s.
That's worse.
D10s.
That's worse. You know, that's worse, right?
I roll. Okay.
Plural.
You take 12 points of radiant damage.
Yep.
As you grab onto Fenris, and while she is in darkness, she is still on astral fire. Hope I hear other voices. Welcome to the podcast. But you grab onto Fenris, and you... I'm gonna need now a lot of checks. Sorry, guys, this is a weird round. Fenris and Revenant, I'm gonna need contested grappling checks.
Okay.
However, Fenris is going to have advantage on this because she is holding the hilt of the blade while Revenant is trying to grab the sharp part of the blade. So, what is it? Contested athletics versus acrobatics? So
Well,
Fenris
athletics, is he trying to pull it, or is he trying to fit the sword out of my hand? How's he doing it?
You're doing athletics
Okay.
against his acrobatics because he's trying to grasp onto it, but you have advantage, Fenris.
Okay.
Okay. 26 I got. 18 plus 8.
26. Okay.
Athletics. Okay, that's natural 20 for a total of 26.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
so that's a draw, but it's a natural 20. So what I would say is while you grab on and Revenant, you feel like you've got a perfect grab on it. You're going to pull it, rip it out of her hands and toss it to the side, try to break this connection. You see Fenris holding on to the hilt, and it's almost like another hand grabs it as well and slides it across your hand and kind of cuts it open. I'll say that that there's no like damage taken. It's just the fact that your hand is cut open from this blade. You are currently still holding on to the blade, but Fenris still has a grasp on it. So you both are holding on to it at the moment. Nothing moves. You're also still like on her, like I'm assuming like holding on to her while she's floating, or are you dropping?
Yeah. No. I'm
Okay.
gonna stay right there.
Yep. Okay. All right.
I don't think there's anything else I can do. Because I'm assuming that was an action and probably a bonus action.
I'd say so with the climbing and the jumping and everything there. So you're currently 20 feet up in the air, hanging on to Fenris, who's currently on fire, holding onto the blade. That's where we're gonna leave you, Revenant.
Yep.
Cool. Dixon still can't see anything, but he did see Caché, and he saw Al, so he's going to... Yeah. He's gonna run up to you, Al,
Safer
and
bet.
kind of position himself with his back kind of up to you, and his gun out, just whirling, kind of looking into the darkness, trying to figure out what's going on, but he's gonna just kind of protect you at the moment.
That's nice.
Al's like dying on the boxes. Thank you. Okay, so Dixon is gonna hold his action again because he can't see what's going on. He doesn't really know what is happening. Fenris, I need you to make a charisma saving throw. But at this point, you can now do it at advantage.
At advantage. Okay.
Because you've now done 3 of those. So it was disadvantage, or normal advantage now.
Advantage total of 16.
Alright. So, in this moment, you saw one of the other orderlies rush at you, jump onto you, hold onto you, try to take away something that was yours. You remember their face. You remember the smell of them. It just sets your teeth on edge.
Mm-hmm.
And then for a moment it blurs, and you actually see Revenant's mask pulling at the blade, and then it's again the orderly, and you're finding yourself almost in two different time periods, back and forth, back and forth. You take a moment to kind of close your eyes and try to center yourself, try to figure out what is going on, and you're once more in that darkened space. And it goes quiet. And you hear the agony and anger of your patron as she slowly begins to turn to you. Do you not see, Fenris? Why are you still holding back? Have you forgotten what they did to you? All betrayers must burn. What do you say to your patron in this moment? Feeling her anger that isn't yours.
I have never forgotten. Never. That pain and sorrow left us both hollow. It's the fuel that drives us. How do I do it? I gotta look at her and said, we are both still chained. How do we break them? How do I break these fucking chains?
And I see her curling her neck back. And you see the astral flames around her fangs, her teeth. And the room once more shifts again. You can see the dragon before you, but you can see Revenant as well. And then Caché, and then Gizmo, and then Al. You're fading back and forth between these spaces. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
Straight roll, yeah.
Straight.
Grade 17.
Okay. I don't know how we break these chains. But perhaps you can find out. But this isn't us. You can see her pushing her head back and looking down at Caché bleeding on, underneath the conveyor belt, to Revenant close to you. It's almost like she's starting to recognize what was happening. We were sworn to protect. Why then? Why do we only taste rage? I am sorry.
I will reach out towards her, just one by own free hand. Well, just do as we always do. We'll find out together.
Together. And her fade. And only Revenant is before you. Revenant, you feel the fire slowly begin to dissipate. Those horns, the skull of the dragon pull backwards. And you see well, what is Fenris looking like right now?
A little bit bewildered and kind of a bit in shock. And look around, like, just noticing you are there in front of her. And then wondering why she's 20 feet in the air.
And surrounded by darkness.
But I don't actually really notice the darkness because I just see through it as normal. It's just maybe slightly hazy.
Revenant,
Yes.
what would you like to do?
I am going to use this exact moment to rip that sword from your hand, throw it on the ground.
Okay. I'd say in this moment, coming out of this Fenris, he's able to take it out of your heads at this moment.
Yeah.
And falls to the ground. But you still feel that presence with you, even though the blade's out of your hand.
Yeah, I'll just look at Fenris then and say, Are you good? Are you?
I will shake my head and look straight at you. Well, yes. I think so. I think I am.
Good, because I think you have some explaining to do when we get back.
What's going on in there?
From what I can remember, yes. And I will look down and just step to drop down.
As soon as you pop out of the shadow, you get momentary stasis.
Okay, so that's a con
I feel like
save?
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
That's
is that a con
save.
save? Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's a 17.
That is the save, so.
Okay.
So you drop down, you kind of feel the again, and then
I
you're
still
and
have, I
you
still
kind
have
of
levitate
come
up. I
out.
haven't dropped that.
Oh yeah, actually no, the levitate is actually
But-
sloped, so you can't walk
Yeah,
off
Never
it.
mind.
Oh, so I can't actually walk off the thing that's holding me up there?
I think that was more
It's
of a
not- it's
of like a
just-
flavor.
Yeah, it's just the flavor of the spell.
It's just
Okay.
the flavor of the
It
spell.
moves with you.
Yeah.
So I'll go to drop down, but just float.
Float forward instead. Revenant's still holding on.
Could I drop off?
Yeah, you can. You can.
Yeah,
I'll just jump off.
float this way then. So
If I see you're
I'll
not
nearly
like
straight in
See
the air.
anything?
bright starlight, I'll drop it.
Okay. Yeah, she kind of comes out of the darkness. You
Okay.
see Revenant drop down as well. And as soon as Fenris leaves the darkness, there is no starlight anymore. However, her clothes look very, very burned and tattered.
There's an
and her
audible
armor's-
sigh of disappointment from Gizmo as he's holding this cable.
Oh.
It would have worked. I know it would have
Shit.
worked. Starts
Here, I can
detaching
freak.
it.
I can freak her out again
Right.
if you want.
But you,
That was such a good idea. I'm so sorry.
That's good.
right.
I'll take the cable back.
Well, maybe you can try it on this conveyor belt and siphon off
Just
the
this
power
dark.
from
I'm
that.
gonna assume this darkness fades as well, so you guys can have the
Yeah.
whole space of the room.
So you should.
I definitely got
You're-
mine, but I don't know if Caché would drop hers.
It's up to
Well,
you, Caché.
Double shot mine,
I would have used the entire distraction, and I suppose I would have felt Revenant leave. So I would have dropped it, but I would have used that portion of time to basically just hide into the shadows in a different spot from where I was. Use the distraction of it.
Yeah. That's no problem. I'd say easily done. You're able to hide. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check to see.
With advantage because there's shadows around?
Yes, of course. My little shadow being.
Good, I needed that. And... Oh, a +7, so... 15 plus 7?
Okay. You feel pretty hidden.
So you're dropping the levitate?
I dropped it, yeah, but I see you're not like blitzy.
Burning. So as the
Oh,
dust
I guess I'm
settles,
taking 9 points of bludgeoning damage, so I just suddenly drop and hit the floor.
No, the spell says that you fall like feather fall.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
no, I
All right.
did put it
Ugh.
together. But as the dust settles and the darkness once more bleeds into this room, taking over the corners, you all kind of catch your breath, eyes watering a bit, stinging from the giant star that was alight in the room. I think we'll take a break and come back here, take some breaths, and we will return shortly. As we fade back into this tense moment, the dust has settled. Fenris, you drop down the ground. Everything kind of goes still in these moments. What would you all like to do?
I'm gonna immediately run over to where Fran was heading on the conveyor belt and like kind of keep looking in, maybe send some like dancing lights down to see if I can see any further in, and probably shout over to Revenant.
So you're kind of looking in this direction?
Yeah. Revenant, does Fran still have, does she still have Humphrey's scent?
I'll lower my hand to the conveyor belt and just tell Fran to go help find Humphrey.
You feel her quivering under your robes and currently not move. Do I
Al, won't let
have
anything
to
happen
go?
to you.
I'm scared.
Fine, we'll go together. But I'll bend down and pick up Fenris' sword.
I will hex weapon it back to my hands.
It goes flying out of your hands and
Right.
into Fenris's.
Are you alright? Fenris, what was that? Who was that?
That was someone very special. to me, but I think I will have to leave the explanations for later. I'm in the middle of a job.
Explanations to be had, though. Right, let's
Yes.
try and help find Humphrey.
I owe you that much at least. So yes, let's continue.
I'm gonna make my way over and see if I can help out in any way.
Caché, you still hiding?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So no one at the moment, except for Revenant, knows where you are.
I am going
Well,
to take out
actually-
my lantern of revealing, though, to see if I can.
Never mind, Al would see you as well.
He's just that short.
No, Al's actually taller than most of you, except for
Pretty
Gizmo.
gangly.
Oh yeah, because
Tall and
he's
gangly.
very tall and long because he's like a belter.
Very much like
Yeah.
a belter.
I don't know that.
As you all kind of gather together around the conveyor belt and kind of look around trying to see what's going on to help out, Dixon kind of saunters up. He would have been kind of following Al, but Al ran off, so now he's kind of making his way. And he's kind of like, y'all are a bit, what's the right word?
Kooky?
Fucking insane!
That's
Excessively
two
high.
words.
Too.
2 words
Fine.
technically.
I understand we're on a job right now, so I'm not going to be talking about this, but one of you burst into shadow, and one of you burst into light. Am I just making sure I understand exactly what I saw?
Yes, we're an odd couple, it seems. Where is Caché?
Dixon, why don't you stop looking at us and look for more clues?
Because...
Do your
yeah.
job.
Yes, what we are is unimportant compared to your own work.
Just kind of puts his hands up like, all right, but what are you going to do about them? Points over to the slowly bleeding out worker that is really over here.
Revenant lifts the pistol and shoots it.
Okay.
Well, there you have it.
Right.
It's what he would like to do to them.
Already dead.
Mercy killing then. Alright. Okay. Looks to you, Al. What are we looking for again? Your little...
Humphrey, but the little robot, you wouldn't have met him. He's
Humphrey. Okay,
He's
Humphrey.
about a couple of feet tall, big orange eyes, metal mustache. He's missing an arm now.
Alright. So Dixon's gonna give you guys a hand. Revenant, Gizmo, what are you doing?
I took up my lantern of revealing,
Okay.
just for extra light there, and also
Okay.
it reveals any like hidden creatures or objects. So just in case there's anything here that we can't quite make out.
Okay. Let me see here. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check, Gizmo. Revenant, are you helping Fran? I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I'll speak to Fran. Fran, if you were larger, would you be less afraid?
It takes a moment. If I was bigger, then I couldn't fit into the small places. I don't want to get stepped on, Revenant. I used to nearly be stepped on all the time when people would kick me out of their houses.
It's okay, Fran. Can you at least pick up Humphrey's scent and tell us where he went?
I can try. And she'll kind of slowly come out of your robes very timidly and kind of sit on the conveyor belt once more and just kind of stand up on her little haunches and kind of sniff the air. Not bad, not bad. What are her stats again? I think she has advantage, right? On...
There's advantage on
Smell.
perception checks that rely on smell.
Okay. What's her perception as well? I should have it here. I'm sorry. I should just hang on.
Hold
I
on.
have it here.
Uh,
Where are you? No, that's Fenris. Revenant, there you are.
11. Her passive perception's 11, sorry.
Okay, her passive perception is 11. Okay, she rolled a 16. So yeah. Okay. So she kind of sits back, smells into the air, and then she just kind of looks down where Al is currently, kind of sending lights down the conveyor belt. So this particular section here, I'm assuming Caché's hiding underneath.
In the
Not on top
shadows.
In the shadows, cool.
Yeah.
So Al, as you're kind of looking down this particular conveyor belt here, you send the lights down. How far can the lights go? Is it 20 feet? 30 feet?
I think it's 60 feet.
Oh, 60 feet. Brilliant.
I think you can link them along, I think.
And you can link them along, yeah. So you kind of link them along, and about 20 feet or so in, you actually notice that there is just a drop down. You actually can't see anymore, but it looks like this particular belt goes down. And as you kind of pull your head back out and kind of look around, you actually see that kind of writing next to this particular conveyor belt. It just says scrap tunnel. Furnace.
Is there still a flash of red every so often, or has that been shut down?
I believe that was shut down. So there's not a flash of red at the moment, and the conveyor belt's not moving either. But as Fran kind of sticks her head out and smells the air, she just looks down that tunnel, the scrap tunnel, slowly moves her way along the conveyor belt, and kind of starts sniffing around some of the bits of metal. And you can see on this belt there's actually like parts of like metal legs and arms, portions of like metal chassis for clock forges. And as she's kind of maneuvering her way around, she actually finds something. She picks it up in her little paws and she kind of holds it up out to you, Al. And you notice that it is a bolt. And you recognize it because it was particularly difficult to use while you were finishing building Humphrey first. It just took you a while. For some reason, this one just didn't want to fit where it was supposed to. And it was kind of the last part to make Humphrey whole. And you spent hours working on it. And you recognize that's what she's handing to you.
That was some little piece of metal. Well, looks like I'm going to have to go crawling along this rather hazardous and conveyor belt covered in sharp objects.
Did I
See Humphreys further down the line.
You do, Gizmo. Looking around kind of the outsides of the conveyor belt, obviously you see exactly what I said there.
rolled?
Oh yeah, Jesus, what did you roll? I'm sorry. I just assumed you rolled really high.
20.
Okay, yeah, see, so you're right.
Yeah.
I just knew. I just
28.
linked in with your head. Sorry. No, thank you. So dirty 20. Actually, no, that's good. So dirty 20. You kind of check around. You do see the same things that Al saw there, with the fact that it says scrap tunnel leading to the furnace. You are looking around kind of the sides here. Some of the furniture, or whatever, not furniture, but some of the storage units here have all been kind of shifted forward in that new gravitational pull that happened with Fenris turning into a star for a little while. But you do find a +1 Tinker's Tools set. So it gives you +1 to your Tinker's Tools checks. You also find like, I think it's 3 Ethereum cores, like small ones, like little batteries almost. And you also find 2 scrap plates of Revenant steel, which could potentially be used for yourself.
Awesome.
And as you bend down around the conveyor belt, you come face to face with Caché.
Are you alright?
Hiding in the darkness.
Just turn away.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Well, you take your time there. We'll come back. I'm gonna go.
You stand back up.
Yep. I'm gonna make my way kind of like slowly over to the rest. So Caché is just, she needs a bit of time. She's just gonna wait there for a moment. She doesn't seem to be doing great.
Is it because she's all... I don't know what the nice word to say is.
Well, then don't say it.
Stressed.
Fair enough. I won't.
I'll have a word with Caché here. You just keep an eye on Fran for me.
Great. I had no idea what to say to her, so that's brilliant.
Fran immediately scurries up your arm, Al. Kind of tucks in under your hair, kind of weaves her way in, just kind of sits in kind of like the crook of your neck.
Well, looks like we're going on an adventure, Fran. I'll follow your nose.
I keep forgetting nobody can understand Fran.
Nope, no one
Nope.
can.
I'm just gonna start
Is there anything I can do to help?
crawling along.
I mean, the tunnel itself it's wide enough for Gizmo to get through. Maybe a little bit tight, but you could definitely maneuver your way through if you wanted to. So Al, you'd probably be fine. You just got to get on your hands and knees and crawl.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast Expeditious Retreat. Oh no, it's a self spell. Never mind. I was gonna cast it on him. Never mind.
Okay. He just throws himself down the head. Yeah. Okay, Al, you're heading down the tunnel?
What I might do
Okay.
is I pull out my book and go, I've not used this one yet. This might actually be very helpful. I'm going
sounds fun.
to mutter a few words and well, you'll see. I'll have to explain. And just kind of start becoming hazier and hazier and just wispier, and I'm going to turn into a gas.
Okay.
Cast
So you-
gaseous
so you-
form of myself.
Awesome. So you turn into a kind of a gaseous form. Yes. Okay. So
I will
you-
also, however, just kind of lead my hand down onto the conveyor belt for Fran to kind of
I
scurry
was
down.
just about to say.
You were this close to getting stabbed.
No,
This close to getting
It's like,
stabbed.
ooh, wait. Okay, so as you're like muttering these words, you kind of
Yeah.
lift Fran off your shoulder and put her down on the
Gently
conveyor
place her
belt.
down, yeah.
She gently kind of sits. She kind of like looks at you, and then you turn into a like kind of that gassy form, and she's like, just looks at you, just confused, as a rat can look.
I like wave my hand through him.
Still feels kind of strange.
Can you talk in that form? That's pretty cool.
No, I cannot talk, actually, sorry.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
jeez.
He sends a gentle breeze towards you.
Yeah. I just kind of like recoil a bit out of the way.
Okay.
Off I go down
Off you
the
go.
tunnel then.
Down the tunnel. Okay, so I will leave you there for a moment. Revenant, Caché, Fenris, what are you doing?
I'll make my way over to Caché.
You do so.
Down.
I'll just be hanging back and watching for now.
I'll crouch under the conveyor belt and make sure I have my back to everybody else. And I'll take my mask off and lead into Caché.
Wait. For one moment. What does Caché see?
Caché would see it's the face that you'd expect a Kenku to have, except it seems to be almost like a black liquid, like fluidy and dripping, and the shadow just falls off the end of its beak.
That's what you see, Caché.
You see the voids where my eyes should be just kind of widen slightly.
okay to embrace the darkness sometimes, Caché.
The light.
We keep our masks on, but we can't keep them on all the time.
I can't handle that burning again. It's like it came through me. It didn't just hurt my physical self. I feel like a light has been shone upon my entire life. All my mistakes.
I understand what you mean. It burned me as well, but the light is gone.
Lights always fade.
Look, why don't you come out and we can discuss this with Fenris? We can find out what happened and see if we can stop it from happening again.
Okay, well, you see that Caché will try and kind of close off the shadow of her face with her panther helmet, but the shadow still kind of leak through the crevices, and she'll step out.
Revenant will put his mask back on before turning back to the rest of the party.
Okay. Successfully masked, both of you. As they're speaking, Fenris, Dixon kind of maneuvers his way over towards you and kind of leans up against some of the machinery that's around. You're an interesting group of people now, aren't you?
Yes, well, that's one way to put it.
Just curious why you turned into a big old ball of fire.
Oh, well, quite curious to that myself.
Can I ask you a question? And he kind of lowers his voice and he kind of positions himself so that he's actually turned away from the others and he's actually just kind of facing you. Kind of lowers his voice. Do you know much about... And he kind of nods over towards Revenant and Caché.
I will slowly turn towards him with a very dangerous look. And just stare at him.
Sorry I asked. I just... Never mind. We have a job, don't we?
Yes.
And just kind of nods his head and kind of glances over his shoulder again. He looks a bit more on edge with your passive perception. He's looking a little bit more on edge. And he'll turn and walk, giving the two of them a little bit more of a wider berth.
As he walks past, I'll just say, they're sound of mind. Just different.
Oh, I know everything about being different. But I also know that shadows can kill you. And he'll walk away from you.
Yes, they can. Guns can kill you too. And blades. Babies launched at great speeds can also kill you. Doesn't make it a valid argument.
you got me there. Al, I believe you are floating your way down the tunnel.
Sorry, I forgot to unmute myself. Yes,
That's all right.
indeed.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow the tunnel along, down, keeping a keen eye for any more parts of Humphrey.
Okay. How fast can you travel as that gas is
Oh,
formed?
not
Gaseous
particularly
form?
fast. I
Okay.
think. Boom, 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 boom. 10 feet.
10 feet.
Mm.
Perfect. Okay, so, and how long does the spell last?
An hour.
Oh, wow. Brilliant. Okay.
Yeah.
So you actually find, you maneuver your way towards the kind of end, the 20 to about the 20 feet
Mhm.
in. And it immediately slopes downward. It's a pretty aggressive downward slope as well. But you do see, like, because it's a conveyor belt, there's like kind of little, they're not steps, but they're like little points that would keep some of the pieces of metal and clockwork parts in place as it moves down. So it could potentially be used a little bit like stairs. Like someone could climb down it if they're careful. But you begin to move downward down this really steep slope, and you hear as you're going as Fran has followed you to the very end and kind of is looking down and is losing you as you slowly move away, and you just watch as she turns. You see her little tail as she goes scurrying back towards the others.
But she's
and-
safely returning.
She's running back to them. Yeah, she's
I'll
like
make sure that she
tried
gets
to,
out.
yeah, she tried to
Yeah.
chase after you and then was like, "Wait, you're and just at you," and then she turned around and ran back. So
No, I'll make sure that she
runs back.
gets
Okay.
past. Yeah, gets past
Yeah. So
the
she
edge of the tunnel.
she's a brat, so it's gonna take her a little bit of time to run 20 feet, but she makes it. She makes it back out to the light, so you can continue on, and you find that this slope is about 80 feet down. But you can continue down. You don't need to make any checks because you are in that form. As you get down towards the bottom, it levels out. And do you feel much in that form? Like, temperature-wise?
I mean,
I don't feel like you would, but...
I have resistance to non-magical damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd say you probably
Take
wouldn't then.
damage. So,
As you move along, it kind of opens out about probably 15 feet after the slope finishes, and you begin to hear strange whines and moans, echoing, clicking noises, clacking noises coming from the large open space that this vent is leading you towards. Are you continuing on?
is there continuing to be a conveyor belt in this space, or
This conveyor belt does move forward. Yeah, it does seemingly to
continue
move
on.
into a very large open space.
how long has it been?
I mean, you went 20 feet, then 80 feet. I'd say it's been for like 5 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'll continue on, keeping an eye on the conveyor belt for.
Okay. I am gonna know everything about gaseous form now. Yeah. I'm assuming you make some like stealth checks then at advantage and stuff, because
You can
Yeah,
make dexterity, strength, constitution saving throws at advantage.
alright.
I can pass through small holes, narrow openings, or mere cracks, but liquids are to be treated as solids.
Okay, while in this form of a misty cloud, targets can't talk or manipulate objects. So you're just wisps of smoke. Okay, yeah, no. I'll be honest. I don't think you're gonna pick up on any registers. So, I'd say you move successfully into the large open space, and kind of as you do move and kind of find a place in the shadows, this is a very large opening room. It's kind of cave-like, but you can see a lot of metalwork as well. It's obviously been built into a type of furnace that's underground. You can see that the conveyor belt that you followed, it leads all the way out, probably about 20 feet or so, and then, or no, probably about 15 or so, and then just drops into a giant scrap pile. That's just kind of a heap on the ground. And straight ahead of you, you can see a massive underground furnace. There are piles of broken clockwork, limbs, legs, blood. Far too much blood than you would assume for clockwork or clock forges. And as you go further in and really start looking around, you begin to see body parts. People ripped apart. Limbs half cut off. The massive furnace is at least 60 feet wide and about 80 feet tall. You can see the jagged maw is spitting out like blue flames. And in front of those flames, you see illuminated a suspended figure hanging limply in the cables. They're lifeless at the moment. You see a dirty golden exterior, a mix of clockwork, plating, forms a disfigured looking chest. That is what you see.
One second, just writing this down. So, all of this is leading to a pile in front of the furnace.
Mm-hmm.
And closer still to that furnace is this suspended individual.
Mm-hmm. You can actually see, like, there's like large metal fixtures to the shoulders, but you can actually see through the rib cage. I'm gonna be really honest with you, because you're a clockforge expert. This is a clockforge.
Okay.
Yeah. A make and model that you haven't quite seen before. Very different to Gizmo.
Okay. Well, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for a different clockforge. So,
Much smaller, more handsome.
yes, much more dashing and hopefully less murderous. Yeah, I'm gonna look along the pile for Humphrey.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Cool.
Say which regular stats.
I will also not go beyond the hour mark. I want to give myself time to go back to everyone and relay my findings if I don't find Humphrey in this go.
Okay.
Perception.
Perception.
A very good 25.
25. Okay. So, as you're kind of floating through, and again, this is great, because you are, in this particular form, you've wrecked my particular scans. You're not gonna be able to see you.
I'm smoke in a furnace room.
Exactly. So it's freaking brilliant. So well done, you. That you're not triggering anything at the moment. So you're able to go through and check and look into this space. As you're moving closer, you kind of stay, like, I'm assuming, kind of around the figure that's hanging.
Yeah.
As you get closer to kind of search around, the big pile there, you take a few moments to kind of just glance through. You see, again, just a medley of clockwork, metal, and body parts. It's kind of turns you, if you had a stomach, it would turn your stomach. You see tables off towards the side with individuals that have been split open with pieces of clockwork put inside them and arms taken off and replaced, and it looks like someone has been testing different models. You continue to search, and as you are getting closer and closer to, I'd say about the let's say that's a 5-minute mark left of that spell.
Okay.
You do indeed find the lifeless form of Humphrey, very, very far towards the back, kind of off to the side of the furnace, currently in a cage. But as you get closer and look, there is no lights on, there's nothing movement or anything from Humphrey at the moment. But he is wrapped in strange, slightly oscillating, what looks like ivy, slowly coiling around him.
Oh, Humphrey. I think to myself, oh, Humphrey, what have they done to you? Oh. Tragic. Just taking a quick glance, because being aware of the time, does it look like this cage is attached to a mechanism that might swing him into the furnace? Does he look at risk of destruction?
At the present moment, no. But it's hard to tell if that cage could be moved. I'll say, yeah, go ahead.
Nope, that's I think I'm getting close to much time with my slow ass flying speed to get back to everyone else. So
yeah,
I'll do that. I'll go back to everyone else.
As you go back to everyone else and continue on, you pass one other thing that catches your eye. Below the individual that is currently, again, still suspended in the cabling above the furnace, you see a powered down peacekeeper below their feet. As you make your way back to the others.
That's a noprum.
I'll say, for expedience sake, you make it back in time. Just the rest of you, actually, I should ask, the rest of you, what were you doing for this past hour?
If we're sitting there waiting for Al to get back, does it count as a short rest?
I'd say if you guys aren't doing anything, yeah.
I would just basically sit waiting for him.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, take that short rest. I'm also going to use the time to try calm myself a bit, play a bit of music.
Yeah, about that.
What?
That's not going to quite cut it anymore. Since you willingly went into your nightmare form, you're stuck like that for a little while.
Fair. Fair. Cool.
Not to be a Debbie Downer there, but that's not how PTSD works.
You like plug a string and it immediately just breaks, and you're like, ah.
We're walking a very fine line of being okay.
Doctors have announced the C chord can cure depression.
The C chord. Bling.
Bring.
Then you move slightly lower, and it's a D chord, and you're right back to depression.
Bring.
Oh.
Okay.
In an attempt to calm Caché down, then Revenant will take out his dice set and just teach him how to play like dice.
Okay, so distracting her a little bit.
Yeah.
Fran also scurries up you for a little bit. Caché
Aww.
kind of sits on your shoulder, kind of close up to you. She's quite familiar and fond of voidlings, so.
Shadow, you know? Cuddle up to the shadow.
Yep. She is a creature of darkness, so. In her own right.
Mm-hmm. Give her a
And
little
then
rub.
like a cat, she'll run down, try to at the dice. But Al makes it back. And just as he kind of out of the vent, you kind of zoom back into yourself and fall onto the conveyor belt, Al.
Ow.
You don't take a damage, you're fine. But
Help him up.
Thank goodness. Well, it doesn't look like fun down there. I saw Humphrey, though. I saw Humphrey. He's there. He's in mostly one piece, in a cage. There's
Should go get him
strange
then.
kind of.
did you see anyone else? Short lad, halfling, red hair.
I'm sorry. I was short on time. I was searching for Humphrey. I had to come back, but
You see Dixon getting a little like.
Listen, it's pretty grim down there. There's very large piles of clockwork, broken machinery, parts of people, blood, quite a bit of gore, viscera. It's not
You
very
paint a
pleasant.
visual picture.
Yeah, I was unfortunately scouring the entire pile looking for Humphrey, so
But you found him.
I did. Yeah,
What-
there's
we should
something
go
else.
and get him then.
There's something else. There's some. It's a clock forge of some kind. I've never seen anything quite like it. Very complex, jagged piece of metal, almost skeletal in parts. It's suspended above the furnace, and under it. You're going to love this. It's one of those peacekeepers.
That is a room we should not go into if you think that's coming to life.
Well, I have to try and get Humphrey. I can't ask anyone else to come in there with me, obviously.
Al's description spark any memories for me for what I researched?
In terms of the Peacekeeper or the Clockforge?
The clock forge.
Go ahead and roll me a history check with advantage.
Sorry, what check did you say again?
History check.
History. Oh, that would not be in my inventory. History. That is a 30-20 again.
Dirty 20, very nice. So, from what you read about clock forges and learned about it in the library, but also your own knowledge in terms of what you've built yourself, it's odd to have a clock forge with skeletal parts because that wouldn't be reinforced. You know, that would be kind of weak points. From Al's description, being kind of more humanoid in shape, it does sound like a trooper or a guardian class. It would be hard to tell without actually seeing it. But
You
with
say
that,
out
go
loud.
ahead. Go ahead.
I'll quickly say it's not any of those. Like I'd know from, yeah,
Mm.
it's not.
This isn't like something you've seen before.
No, I've worked with a lot of clock forges, and this is nothing that was mass produced.
There was one classification of clock forge that pretty much all information was taken from, at least the source that I could read. They were called envoys.
I know of this.
Ooh, yes, Al, you would. Roll me a history check with advantage as well. See how much you remember.
Is there anything that someone with access to military records might know?
Not on envoys.
I'm gonna flash of genius
Okay.
his roll, so
Well, thank you for the advantage.
how do you get a plus one?
'Cause
And the flash of genius, so +5.
Yes.
Right?
so that is a 23 plus 5, 28.
Ooh,
Yeah.
damn on the rolls, boys.
Stay in
Ooh.
school.
Al, pop into secrets with me.
Oh yeah.
Oh no!
Okay.
Dun dun dun.
Okay.
So, Al.
So yeah, when you mention if you mention envoys,
I did.
you did, yeah. I'll envoys. I know that. Oh, of course. That's God. That's a long time ago now. Envoys. There was some kind of, as you said, hush hush secret kind of clockforge design that they only made, something like 8 of them. Most of them are currently unaccounted for, if it's to be believed anyway. They're essentially equipped with the ability to change their appearance to seem like anyone, any person. They could be incredible infiltrators, assassins. It's really quite awe-inspiring, the technology went into making them. I hadn't thought about them for a long time, but it's possible. If it is an envoy, I think we should be more wary of it than the peacekeeper.
If that's an actual envoy, I have to see it.
They were apparently also infused with some kind of fey magic, which, come to think of it, there were some strange, almost vine-like ivy things shrouding Gizmo. Humphrey.
That'll be me.
You do have vines surrounding you, but
That's part of what I used to build this. It might be that if there's these vine-like structures around Humphrey, maybe I can release him.
maybe. But like I said, there's also quite a bit of other dangerous-looking things to contend with, so not exactly sure how to
Then you
deal
go.
with those.
All of you, get out of here. You don't need to be here. Either I make it or I don't.
I have quite a lot of experience with suicide missions. They usually fail, so we're going with you.
I hope it's the suicide part that fails, and not the mission.
Well, if he goes on his own, it sounds like a suicide mission to me.
You didn't see
Well, I'm
any
going
movement, any reaction.
Not from either Clockforges or from Humphrey.
It could be
I was
deactivated. It could be completely
Wisps of
safe.
smoke in a furnace room, though, so I think it could have just gone undetected. Really, I'm sorry. I didn't have time. I was looking for Humphrey. I should have looked for more entryways into the area. It's an enormous space.
How far away was it?
About 80 feet from the entry point down, quite a distance down, this large cavernous space.
You can hear at this point, or see, Dixon is just pacing back and forth. Just looking a bit riled up.
If I go in this form, I'm a lot quicker, I'm a lot quieter. And I can get out again pretty quickly. In a small space like that, I appreciate you wanting to have my back, but I think a group of people will be more of a hindrance than a help.
And if you're wrong, we are then how far away from you?
I can get out quick.
Look, and I understand that you want to save Humphrey, is it? But what about the others? Were there any other workers down there? Was Dion down there? I mean, there could be people down there that
I
need
saw
our
the
help.
bodies.
I can have a look.
I'm the most likely to not be seen.
True, but if these vines are surrounding Humphrey, it might be that only I'll be able to release him. Maybe, maybe not. But it sounds like the kind of thing I deal with.
A lot of maybes here.
Well, if only you were going to be able to release it, then you should be working on releasing it while we deal with whatever else is down there. Going into the big unknown, would it be advantageous to have someone watching your back?
I can retreat pretty quickly by myself, though. Anybody else, I wouldn't be able to get out as fast.
And could you bring Humphrey along with you? Could you bring the boy if you find him?
I can
Try.
bring one. I could get someone out. But it could just be me and someone else.
Some kind of teleportation?
Yes. I have to take a little trip into Shadow, though.
I need to go down there. If this is an actual envoy, I have to see it. I'll get Humphrey out. I'll look for whatever it is, but
These things were considered too dangerous to make more of. I was as excited as you are now to work on the project, but considering the context, it kind of dampens the excitement.
not for me.
Did you say you worked on the project?
I didn't. I almost did. There was an opportunity and I didn't take it. I used to work with...
Why wouldn't you
someone-
take it if you were excited?
I worked with... we were partners. It wasn't exactly me running the show, as it were. There was a disagreement, you know. He thought it was too dangerous. I thought it was exciting. I told him he was being boring. He sent a letter of refusal without me knowing. You know.
And I'm inside in that.
Oh, okay. I mean, you can go ahead and roll, but your passive insight
My passive is 20, so.
is 20, so.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Can I use my passive?
yeah, go ahead. I mean, Al.
I'm being upfront.
Yeah, you're being really upfront, so the two
But
of
you're-
you get that.
So you're telling me that you built this?
No, I didn't, as I said. I didn't work on any envoys.
But your partner was the one who got it shut down.
No. We were offered. We didn't create these things. We didn't invent them. We weren't that brilliant.
You were offered a role, and
In
whoever this
creating
was
them.
refused the position
Yes.
on your behalf.
This is before it was shut down. Yeah.
So you don't really know then what went into this. Sure, it got shut
Not
down,
exactly.
but we have no reason as to know why that was shut down.
Well, I heard afterwards it was shut down because it was deemed too dangerous. There's rumors that
And you
know,
trust
the
what you hear.
dynasty. Well, it's you kind of have to when you're wheeling and dealing, as it were. It's when you're in the business of making risks and selling things to certain people. You kind of have to go with the
Right.
wind.
Well, I'm in the business of seeing things for myself. I'm going.
I'm going with you.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying,
And
we need to be incredibly careful.
I will be.
Well, you're not going on your own, regardless.
Well, Dixon will take out his pistol and flip it around. I'm coming too.
The more that goes, the more we risk this failing.
No.
More of us who make a distraction then.
Oh,
The less the goal.
Mitigating the failure consequence, really.
We're just wasting time now. Revenant's gonna jump up on the conveyor belt and start moving towards the.
Mm.
I follow behind.
I agree with Revenant.
Okay.
I'm
I need a
gonna
marching
follow
order.
behind. I'll follow behind Gizmo.
Okay, so
And
we
I'm
have Revenant.
stealthing.
Revenant. We have then Gizmo, Fenris,
Mm-hmm.
I'll go next.
Caché, and then Al at the back.
Sure. I might warn people as we go as well of kind of
Dixon's gonna
when
take up
it's
the
about to
rear
drop.
behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
exactly. So as you're Revenant, as you're moving forward, Franz return to you as well. You continue forward about 20 feet, and then you do see the pretty drastic drop down, the 80 feet. But as I explained before, you kind of do see like divots, almost like areas where you could potentially put your feet. So you'll just have to climb down carefully.
I've got the gecko gloves. I'm
You
sure
got
I
the
can-
Geki gloves as well, so you won't need to really make a check. You just get to go down. The rest of you, I will need athletics or acrobatics checks, depending on how you would like to come down the stair-ish things, the slope.
28.
28.
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics, okay.
Hmm.
I'm going to use a luck point.
Okay. Mark off that luck
15
point.
acrobatics.
15, okay.
I must look boring to all of you. Dirty 20 athletics.
Just pumping iron as you do it.
18 acrobatics.
All right.
The
all
wall
right.
shimmy.
Fantastic. I'm really happy that happened because Dixon did not roll very well, and he's bringing up the rear.
Oh,
He basically took the spot behind Al to kind of keep Al safe, like in the middle almost. So yeah, so you easily, all of you, silently start to make your way down. As you get closer to the end, Revenant, and then it will be Gizmo, Fenris, Caché, Al, and Dixon. I need you all to make stealth checks as you approach.
Is
Unless
it
you're not being
darkness?
stealthy. You are very much in darkness, yes.
Oh, yeah, yes.
So
stealth
you
checks.
two can be at advantage.
Okay.
At least you're
24.
not shouting at me, I have dark vision. Now every time it's, am I in darkness?
That's a 10.
Set 22.
22,
I think Dixon landed on me. It's 11.
11. Caché,
24.
Gizmo.
I got a 9. I'm gonna flash of genius to give myself +5.
All right, plus
14.
5. Okay. All right. So, as you all kind of make it down to the slope, right at the end, Dixon kind of slips a bit and hits into you, Al, and you kind of hit off a few things, and you kind of hear the sounds of metal parts kind of moving around on this belt. You all kind of freeze for a moment, and it's just silence. You all kind of look at each other for a moment, and Dixon kind of has this face of, and he kind of puts his heads down. So all of
Right.
you are.
So we're sneaking in. This guy trips up. We're sneaking in the other into the vent,
Yeah.
and he whacks his head.
Yeah,
No, he's-
he's not having a very good day. I'll be
No, he's
honest. Rolling
Oh.
really, really shitty.
who just. He says this is the perfect time to just bowling pin us.
He's a very, very good detective. He's just rolling
He just
really.
has poor
he's,
dice luck.
and he's also just.
He's a
This
very
is a
unlucky detective.
very
Yeah.
unfortunate situation that he's currently in at the moment, and he is a very unlucky detective.
He's like
That's
the Will
Yeah.
Wheaton NPC.
Yeah. He really is. Yeah. But you all
Good
kind of make the
detective, but terrible
jumbled
fiddlers.
sounds, but kind of stand there for a second and quiet and kind of, okay. Do you continue on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Should we get off the conveyor belt if there's a floor, so to speak?
I'll say
Or
you're
is there
still
not?
kind of in the like in the tunnel at the moment. It needs to open out into the big space before there's not really a space to get off the conveyor belt at the moment. You have about 15 feet to move into the space through this tunnel.
Keep an eye out for sensors or traps. We don't want to alert this thing.
We'll move carefully then.
Okay.
Keep an eye
Should
out.
we fan out
We're stuck in the tunnel.
You're kind of in a tunnel.
Another 15 feet.
when we
up,
get out?
Get to the edge. Yes, another 15 feet or so.
All right then.
Yeah, we'll continue on.
Continue on.
Keeping an eye
Kind
out
of-
for traps and sensors.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check. Revenant.
Can I give advantage?
Can indeed if you want.
That's
Do I have something for
I'd say the two of
investigation?
you can definitely be looking. Especially because you're at the front.
You get advantage.
I still have as well too
Just 19.
the lantern that shows hidden things as well, if that helps.
Right, yes. There's magical hidden things, right?
Let me have a quick look at what it says exactly again. Lantern of revealing. Sheds bright light in 30-foot radius, dim light for another 30 feet. Invisible creatures and objects are visible, so anything invisible.
Cool. Okay, good to know. And it shines a light for how far? 30 feet?
30 feet bright and then 30 more feet dim.
Cool. So you can actually, all of you can see quite well. However, Caché and Revenant, you're kind of like, oh, why is there light? So it's kind of messing with your sight a little bit, but nothing to like stop, but just for flavor wise. But you all move out of the tunnel space and into the large underground furnace area. All of you can see that the conveyor belt does move ahead about 15-20 feet or so and then drop into a massive pile. And it is at this point that all of you, I'd say except for Gizmo, because this will take you a little bit while for this to reach you because you're in suit. There is a very recognizable smell of death and decay in this room. Not only that, but humidity and heat from the furnace. It is uncomfortable in this space for many, many reasons. But as you all kind of fan out, and with those stealth rolls from the previous one, you do kind of see how the furnace, about 60 feet wide, 80 feet tall, massive at the back of this room. You can see kind of tables off to the right-hand side with mounds that look like bodies that have been cut open. And all of you kind of keeping an eye out. Caché, your eyes immediately land on that peacekeeper that's currently powered down. You can just see it just sitting at the base of the furnace. I'm assuming Gizmo's keeping his eyes out. You're really keeping an eye out. You immediately clock the illuminated figure that is hanging suspended above the furnace. You can see. Would you like to see what you see?
Yes.
Has anything changed in this room since I was here?
No.
Ooh.
Oh god.
Suspended about 60 feet in the air, in cablings and wires, this disfigured clockwork form hangs motionless. And as you all kind of make your way into the space, you see the two blue eyes move, and the body twitches, writhing into the space. You see the faceplate kind of move up, and you begin to hear the of the peacekeeper starting to power up. How wonderful. You've come to me willingly. Now, you too can join the machine. And that's where we'll call it tonight.
Oh.
Oh.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. And be sure to like and subscribe, please. We need all the support we can get. And we will see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.